Any question? So
No.
Mayla, you have some question like what's the difference between the long current asset and the current asset? What's the difference? Why we have to divide the asset into two parts? Why we have long current asset? Why we have current asset? Why don't we just combine long current and current into one? Because long current asset means we use this asset for more than 1 year. Just like your computer. Technically speaking, like generally your mobile phone and your computer is used for more than 1 year. I just ignore the situation that you may just change to iPhone 13 or iPhone or a new iPhone brand. Just assume you keep using it. That means if you're going to use that asset for more than 1 year, then it is long-term asset. But how about for the current asset? Current asset means that if any asset regarded as a current asset, means that asset can be converted into cash within 1 year very easily. Just like inventory. Inventory means stock. If we sell toys, then toys is our inventory. So usually we can sell toys very fast. When we sell toys out, that we can get money back. Okay? How about account receivable? If we sell something to the others, but someone didn't pay the money, then we have debtor. Debtor means account receivable. So usually debtor will settle the money 1 week later or 2 weeks later, but finally they will just pay back the money to us. Okay, so we can just receive the money rather than the bank and cash. So current asset, the nature for the current asset, it means that that kind of asset can be easily converted into the cash. But non-current asset is really hard to convert into cash. Why? Just like long-current asset, you buy a building, maybe you buy a property for like, let's say around $7 million. In Hong Kong, it's kind of, not say Hong Kong, in the world, it's really hard to sell out that kind of building within 1 or 2 months. 1 month or 2 months, it's really hard. Okay, so if that kind of asset is really hard to convert into cash, then that is the non-current asset. Okay, so usually you just find out there is only 2 items for the non-current assets. The first one is the motor vehicle, and the second one is the office equipment. How come office furniture it's really hard to sell out? Because no one will buy your old one. If you have an old one, why I didn't just buy a new one? Why I have to buy an old one from you? I'll just buy a new one. So it's really hard to convert into cash. So that is the long-term asset. And for the current liability, the nature for the current liability actually is quite similar to the current asset. Current liability means that we have to settle this kind of debt within 1 year. We have to. But what's the reasons of not settling this kind of long-term liability within 1 year? What's the consequence? What's the impact on our company if we cannot settle the current liability? Someone will find the liquidation. Have you ever heard the ATV?
No.
No ATV. 恒大地产. No. Just like ATV, maybe you can go search in the Google.
Okay.
Actually, that is just right now. I guess there's only one channel in television, the TVB. But 10 years ago, there are 2 TV television major TV channel, 2 TV major channel, ATV and the TVB. But how come there's no ATV right now? Because ATV is bankrupt. Do you know why ATV is bankrupt? Do you know what's the meaning of bankrupt? Because the business. Because ATV cannot settle the current liability. Then someone just find a liquidation and hire the Big Four, the Deloitte, to liquidate your company. If someone just liquidate your company, that means your business is shit. You have to close your business. You have to sell all your assets and get your money back and then settle the current liability. So current liability is very important. You have to settle the current liability within 1 year. If you cannot settle the current liability, someone can fire. No, someone have the right to liquidate your company. Then your company is no longer exists. So current liability means you have to settle. You must settle the liability within 1 year. But how about the long-term liability? Do we have to settle the long-term liability within 1 year? 勞烈啦，係咪先？ Current liability you have to settle within 1 year. For the long-term liability, more than 1 year. Okay. You know what I mean? So capital is very.
So current liability need to settle within 1 year.
Okay. Current liability you can settle 2 years later or 3 years later to explore it. You don't need to settle in this year. And for the capital is very easy. Just to record how much the owner contribute to the company. So do you know the opening? This is a typo. Sorry, not opening infantry. This too is typo. This is opening capital. Do you know what's the meaning of opening capital?
The capital when the owner starts the business.
Yeah, very good. Very good. How about the last drawing? Why drawing is combined with less? Why you use less with the drawing? Why less? Why not add? Why add? Why less? What's the meaning of drawing? Drawing means the owner takes something from the business for his personal use. If the owner takes something from the business, that means his contribution to the company increase or decrease.
What decrease? Sorry.
Decrease. He takes something from the company. The owner takes something, then decrease. So there will be less. So what's add? This one add net profit and less net loss. Then you just calculate the amount from the income statement. So you can just ignore this one. Do you know why you have to? You can ignore this one because you seldom, or I would say you never calculate the net profit correctly. It must be wrong, that amount.
Okay.
Because I just remember in my DSE, I cannot balance this balance sheet. I guess the variance is around $7 million, 3 million, I guess. I remember the variance is around 3 to 4 million, but I still get 5 star in the accounting. So don't just make yourself nervous by failing to balance the balance sheet. It's okay. No need to balance the balance sheet. Okay. So we just finished the income statement and the balance sheet. Just one more time. Only the revenue and expenses can be recorded in the income statement. Only expenses and revenue. So we have 6 nature. What's the others? Asset, liability, capital, and drawing is then recorded in the balance sheet.